Ever wonder what would happen if a ghost from the Ming Dynasty discovered a dating app? Well, strap in, because this is the story of Lin Xiaoyun and the day love went digital, in the most supernatural way possible. It all started on a stormy night in Hangzhou. A bolt of lightning, with impeccable, or perhaps terrible timing, struck the main server for the dating app Lovelink. Not far away, in a quiet, forgotten graveyard, something stirred. The spirit of Lin Xiaoyun, a young woman from the Ming Dynasty who had died with a heart full of romantic poems, was jolted awake from her centuries-long slumbers. Before her ethereal form, a strange, glowing object appeared. She called it a magic mirror. We call it a smartphone. On its screen was a simple request: create your profile, filled with a curiosity that had outlasted empires. Xiaoyun touched the screen. With a bit of ghostly intuition, she filled out her profile, listing her hobbies as lute playing, embroidery, and contemplating the fleeting nature of existence. For her location, she simply put beneath the willow by the broken bridge. Meanwhile, across town, a shy programmer named Chen Wei was pulling an all-nighter at the Lovelink office, trying to fix the very server that lightning had just scrambled. He was buried in code, surrounded by empty instant noodle cups, when his phone buzzed. "You have a new match," it declared. He glanced at the profile. Lin Xiaoyun. Her photo was artistic, to say the least. A bit blurry, a bit pale, but her bio was strangely poetic. Intrigued, he sent a simple hello. He didn't have to wait long for a reply, but it didn't come through the app. A sudden chill filled the office. The lights flickered. He looked up from his monitor, and there she was, floating a few inches off the ground, dressed in ancient robes, looking just as confused as he was. "Greetings, esteemed scholar," she whispered, her voice like rustling silk. "Did my message arrive by swift courier?" Chen Wei did what any logical, sleep-deprived programmer would do. He screamed and nearly fainted. Once he managed to pick himself up off the floor, his terror slowly gave way to a strange sense of guilt after all. His app had summoned her. This guilt soon blossomed into fascination. This wasn't a bug. This was a feature. A very, very spooky feature. Thus began the most unusual tech support session in history. Chen Wei started teaching Xiaoyun about the modern world. He explained that automatic doors weren't just very polite ghosts holding the way open for her. He showed her that texting didn't require composing a 5-stanza poem each time. And he introduced her to the pinnacle of modern culinary achievement: instant noodles. She declared them an edible miracle and dubbed him my algorithm lord. He, in turn, affectionately called her Miss Ghost. Their strange little routine was perfect. By day, Chen Wei would code. By night, Xiaoyun would appear, asking questions about everything from airplanes to memes. She learned to use his phone, scrolling through social media with wide-eyed wonder. He found himself looking forward to their nightly meetings, her ancient grace a welcome contrast to his world of logical, predictable code. They were falling for each other, a programmer and a ghost, connected by a glitch in the system. But you know how these stories go. Happiness is often a temporary state, especially when you're dating someone from the spectral plane. One evening, a new visitor appeared in Chen Wei's office. This one wasn't floating playfully. She was stern, carried a large ledger, and radiated an aura of bureaucratic authority that transcended life and death. This was Auntie Meng, an official from the underworld's Department of Soul Management. Lin Xiaoyun, she announced, her voice echoing with the weight of ages. Your soul is unregistered in this realm. This is a violation of celestial protocol. You are scheduled for deletion. Deletion. The word hit Chen Wei harder than a system crash. Auntie Meng, perhaps seeing the panic in his eyes, offered a sliver of mercy. You have 7 days to say your goodbyes. Then her data will be wiped, and her spirit returned to the cycle of reincarnation. 7 days. The clock was ticking. Despair washed over Chen Wei. But then the programmer in him took over. If Xiaoyun was a piece of data, a glitch in his system, then maybe, just maybe, he could write a patch. He locked himself in his office, fueled by coffee and desperation, and began coding the most important project of his life. He was building a digital anchor, a piece of code that could integrate her spiritual essence directly into Lovelink's core infrastructure, making her a permanent part of the virtual world. His boss, a man more interested in profits than metaphysics, stumbled upon Chen Wei's frantic work. Seeing terms like spirit integration and persistent entity, he didn't see a desperate act of love. He saw a brilliant marketing opportunity, a ghost dating feature. Chen Wei, you're a genius, he exclaimed. Before Chen Wei could explain, the boss had greenlit a global launch for a new feature. Love never dies. The 7th night arrived. The air grew heavy. Chen Wei and Xiaoyan stood by the misty shores of Westlake, the very place she had once known in life. She was beginning to fade, her form flickering like a weak signal. My algorithm lord, she whispered, her voice faint. I think my trial period is over. Her hand was becoming translucent in his. Panic seized him. He pulled out his laptop, his fingers flying across the keyboard. With a final, desperate keystroke, he hit enter. Activate Ghost Protocol, he muttered. A brilliant cascade of light, like pure data, erupted from the laptop and enveloped Xiaoyun. The code surged, weaving itself into her spiritual form. She flickered violently for a moment, then stabilized, solidifying. She was still ethereal, but she was present, grounded. She looked down at her hands, then back at Chen Wei, a look of pure astonishment on her face. He gave her a weak, triumphant smile. I gave you Wi-Fi, he said. A laugh, clear and beautiful, like wind chimes over water, escaped her lips. Months later, the Love Never Dies feature was a viral sensation. Lovelink's user base exploded, and at the heart of it all was Lin Xiaoyun, the world's first digital ghost celebrity. She hosted live streams where she recited classical poetry, her ethereal voice captivating millions. She became famous for scolding online trolls with the eloquent, cutting wit of a Ming Dynasty noblewoman. Every night, Chen Wei would code with her shimmering form floating beside him. offering commentary and occasionally trying to help by rearranging his desktop icons into poetic couplets. Auntie Meng would occasionally check in, sighing with resignation but admitting that at least this particular ghost wasn't haunting temples anymore. Lin Xiaoyun, a soul once forgotten beneath moss and time, had found a new life in a world of data streams and laughter. And Chen Wei, the shy programmer, learned the ultimate truth, that even the most perfect algorithm can't predict the illogical, chaotic, and beautiful phenomenon of love. Especially when it comes with a celestial halo and a wicked sense of humor, because love never truly dies. Sometimes it just logs back in. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this modern ghost story, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more tales from the intersection of technology and magic. And let us know in the comments what you think would be the weirdest thing to teach a ghost about our world. See you next time.